They didn't cancel a show because it failed. They didn't remove Sherri Shepherd because audiences stopped watching. The real question is far more explosive. What happens when someone inside the machine suddenly stops protecting the machine? Because one emotional moment, one sentence about how Hollywood really works, and suddenly the entire future of Sherri Shepherd's daytime empire was hanging by a thread.
Your privacy has always been important to me, and I would never say something that you didn't say, but I know that if you look at me, then clearly the world will know that you've already had the forbidden.
For years, viewers thought they were watching a normal television transition. Wendy Williams steps away, a new face appears, and the network moves forward. But behind the polished smiles and carefully planned announcements, something much bigger was allegedly happening. A quiet power shift, a calculated replacement, a behind-the-scenes strategy that turned one of daytime television's biggest names into yesterday's news almost overnight. Because Wendy Williams didn't just have a talk show. Wendy created a world. She built a daily ritual where millions tuned in because she said what everyone else was afraid to say. She wasn't perfectly controlled. She wasn't predictable. She was messy, bold, emotional, and completely impossible to ignore. That unpredictability was exactly what made her powerful, but it was also exactly what made executives nervous. Then, everything changed. Wendy's health struggles became public, and suddenly the entire structure started shaking. When one person becomes the entire heartbeat of a show, what happens when that heartbeat slows down? The network needed a solution, and they needed it fast. They needed someone who could step into the chair, keep the cameras rolling, keep advertisers comfortable, and avoid creating chaos. And that's when Sherri Shepherd entered the picture. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Sherri wasn't some random replacement. She had years of experience, she was loved by audiences, and during her guest appearances, people responded. She had warmth, she had comedy, she had the exact qualities executives wanted at that moment. But there was one major difference. They weren't looking for another Wendy Williams. They were looking for someone who could hold Wendy's position without becoming Wendy.
Starting in September, I am debuting my own talk show, Sherri! I am so excited because I am going to be joining the Debmar Mercury family. That is the company that produces this show and several others that you love.
When Sherri announced her own show, she did it from the very platform Wendy built. The same audience, the same time slot, the same television ecosystem. The transition was so smooth that many viewers didn't even realize how quickly one identity was being replaced by another. Wendy's digital presence was transformed. The audience that followed Wendy for years was suddenly redirected towards Sherri's new era. To many fans, it felt less like a transition and more like a disappearance. And that's when the first questions started appearing. Was Sherri chosen because she was the perfect person for the job? Or was she chosen because she was the safest person for the job? Because for a while, everything worked. The show survived. The bookings came in. Big names appeared. The numbers weren't collapsing. There was no major scandal destroying the brand. On the surface, Sherri looked successful. But then something changed. Sources claimed Sherri started thinking bigger. She wanted more control, more recognition, more flexibility. After seasons of carrying the show, she reportedly believed she had earned a stronger position at the table. And that's where the relationship between talent and network started becoming complicated. Because networks love confidence when it creates ratings. But confidence becomes dangerous when it challenges control. The woman they brought in as the safe choice was slowly becoming a woman with her own voice. And according to critics of the situation, that was the moment everything began to shift. Because Sherri wasn't just performing a role anymore, she was starting to reveal the person underneath. And in an industry built on carefully managed images, sometimes the most dangerous thing someone can do is simply stop pretending. But then came the moment that allegedly changed everything. A moment that looked harmless to the audience, but reportedly felt completely different behind closed doors. Sherri Shepherd sat down on her own show to discuss Tyra Banks. And what started as a normal celebrity conversation slowly turned into something much deeper. She began talking about pressure, fame, public judgment, and the reality of surviving in an industry where smiles are often part of the performance. To viewers, it looked like a genuine human moment, a television personality opening up, a woman speaking from experience. But inside the world of network television, authenticity can sometimes become the most dangerous thing you bring to the table, because the entertainment industry runs on control. Every topic is planned, every conversation is shaped, every message is examined before it reaches millions of viewers. So when someone sitting sitting at the center of a major platform suddenly starts speaking from a place that feels too real, too personal, too unscripted. Executives don't just hear words, they hear risk. And that's exactly where the controversy begins. Sherri's comments about the pressure of being famous and the expectations placed on entertainers reportedly raised eyebrows. She talked about how people behind the scenes are often expected to keep everything moving, keep the image alive, keep the audience believing. And then came the phrase that allegedly caught attention, the machine. Because in Hollywood, that word means more than just a word. It represents an entire system, a network of executives, producers, publicists, and decision makers who influence what stories get pushed, what voices get amplified, and what people remain in the spotlight. So when Sherri appeared to question that system publicly, even indirectly, some people began wondering if she had crossed an invisible line. Was she simply sharing her truth? Or had she unknowingly exposed something the industry prefers to keep hidden? Then the atmosphere reportedly changed. Behind the scenes, whispers started. Conversations happened. Questions were raised. Was Sherri becoming too independent? Was she moving away from the image the network originally wanted? And according to claims surrounding the situation, a private meeting followed. A meeting that allegedly wasn't just about programming, a meeting about control. The reports surrounding that conversation became one of the biggest parts of the controversy. Some insiders claimed executives questioned whether Sherri understood the impact of her words. Others suggested the tension came from a deeper disagreement about creative freedom and the future of the show. And then came the detail that made people pay attention: the recording. The idea that an executive placed a phone on the table and made it clear the conversation was being captured became the moment many viewers saw as symbolic. Because whether you believe every detail or not, the image itself tells a powerful story, an employee and a network sitting across from each other, with power being measured in real time. And this is where Katt Williams entered the conversation. For years, Katt has built a reputation for speaking about the entertainment industry in ways many people consider uncomfortable. He has criticized hidden rules, industry politics, and the way careers can change when someone stops following expectations. So when rumors around Sherri's cancellation started spreading, many people looked toward Katt for his reaction, because from his perspective, this wasn't simply about a television show. It was about a pattern where people are celebrated as long as they fit the role they were given, but once they begin challenging the system around them, everything can change. The official explanation was simple: programming decisions, business changes. The natural evolution of daytime television. But critics questioned why a successful show would suddenly disappear if everything was truly fine, and that contradiction is what kept the conversation alive. Because the biggest mystery was never whether Sherri had a show. The mystery was whether she still had control over it, and that's the part that connects everything back to Wendy Williams. Wendy built her legacy by refusing to be completely controlled. She became famous because she said things other people avoided. She turned honesty into her brand, and years later, Sherri found herself in a strangely similar position. The woman brought in as the safer choice eventually became someone with her own voice, someone who stopped simply filling a chair, someone who started questioning the room she was sitting in. And maybe that is the real reason this story continues to fascinate people, because it isn't just about one cancellation, it's about what happens when a person inside a powerful system decides they are no longer willing to quietly play along.